Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spread Some Magic 1928. Today we are making the ESPN Zone Spinach Dip. It comes to us from the D23 website. The ESPN Zone used to be a restaurant in downtown Disney. Disclaimer, if you make this spinach dip, it will most likely ruin you for any restaurant spinach dip. I have yet to find one that really comes close to this. Red Robin used to have one a while ago. Maybe TGI Fridays back in the day, but I've been making this for probably close to 12 years. I think I first made it for my son's 6th birthday. That was 12 and a half years ago. So it is fantastic. Today we're gonna do the half batch. I don't need a lot, so half it is. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350. You're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter into a sauce pot. We are going to melt that butter and then saute an 1/8 of a cup of red onion and 1 to 2 garlic cloves for about 2 minutes, and then make a roux by adding an 1/8 of a cup of flour. Gonna let that come together for a few minutes, and then you're gonna pour in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream and a whole cup of milk. Got them both in there to make it easy. And then after that, and I'll take you to the stove to do that. Once this is creamy and can cover the back of a spoon, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of Parmesan and a pinch of white pepper. Then after that, I believe we remove it from the heat, and then we'll be back here where we're gonna add a pinch of salt, some black pepper, a 1/2 cup or a 1/2 stick of cream cheese that has been cubed and softened. Artichoke hearts, of course, quartered. Now these were whole, so I've already drained them and cut them into quarters. And then your spinach. For the full recipe, it says 2.5 containers of the spinach, which I only, if I do a full one, ever use 2. What do you do with the other half of that square? I actually might be slightly less on a full. So, might be a little less on the spinach. But also, pro tip, if you have a potato ricer, which is what this is, and it looks like a giant garlic press, not only does it make the most creamy mashed potatoes you could ever have, but it's the best and easiest way to squeeze all that moisture out of frozen spinach. And you can make guacamole, like throw your avocados in there and just press them through if you like super smooth guac. And I've also heard maybe egg salad. Anyhow, we're also gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and some hot sauce of choice. So you could use, I've got Tapatio here, you could use Tabasco, Valentina. I've also got Frank's Red Hot, which I wouldn't use, but maybe that's your flavor profile. But I usually season things with Tapatio when it comes with hot sauce. And I think I've covered all the ingredients in front of me, so let's take it to the stove. So you're gonna add your onions and your garlic to the melted butter. Stir and saute until soft. Add the flour and whisk to make a roux. When that's brown and has a slight nutty smell, add your milk and your heavy cream, whisking to incorporate. And then you're gonna mostly whisk until it's thick enough to cover the back of a spoon. Add the Parmesan cheese and a touch of white pepper and stir until melted. Okay, as you saw, our Parmesan is incorporated. So next we add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper, which you always have to eyeball unless, I don't know, maybe they have a pepper grinder out there that you can buy like 1/4 teaspoon and it'll auto grind it. That would be cool if you invent that. Copyright. Just kidding. All right, so we have the pepper, the salt, Worcestershire, and hot sauce go next. It's a teaspoon of each, according to the recipe. If you want it spicier, by all means, make it spicier. There is one person in this house, though, that can't really have a lot of spice. So we will stick to the recipe on that one. So a teaspoon each of hot sauce and Worcestershire. And get that well incorporated. And then next, we're gonna fold in the cream cheese. So we're done with the whisk. Anymore. I'm going to fold in the cream cheese. Fold, stir, oops, hold on to your pots so it doesn't go running away, but stirring well until cream cheese is completely incorporated. And then after this, we're gonna fold in the spinach. Spinach is usually cold, so are the artichoke hearts. So that's why you definitely wanna get the cream cheese folded in, which mine's almost there. So it like basically melts, because once you add the cold ingredients, it's not really gonna melt anymore. I don't mind chunks of cheese. So next, we're gonna add the spinach. Stirring to combine. I guess I gotta break it up. When you use the racer, it compacts it pretty good, honestly, because that went in here really nice. And then once all your spinach is incorporated how you want it, then we gently fold in the artichoke hearts, being careful not to break them. It says to put this mixture in a 9x9 pan. I have always, with a full recipe, done the 9x13 pan. And I have a 9x6 here for a half recipe, so I might go to my 9x9 for the half. Maybe I'll just do it here, it's fine. Okay, and then gently fold in your artichoke hearts. And there it is. So we've got our pan, we're gonna roll with this 9x6 pan. And if you didn't see, we got our little cheesy buddy here, Remy. Recently joined the family from the parks. He is a shoulder pal, but I didn't want him falling into the dip today. So until I get used to working with him, he can sit with us. Oh my goodness. I mean, just look at that creamy, cheesy goodness right there. And then I think I forgot to mention earlier at the top of the show, but a half a cup of Parmesan, or not Parmesan, mozzarella. That's gonna get sprinkled on top. So I think when I do the full recipe, because I use bigger than a 9x9 pan, I probably double that. Because honestly, to me, this doesn't look like enough cheese. And I'm sure it is, because there's so much cheese in this. And then we bake it for 15 minutes. So I'll see you in 15. Here it is, straight from the oven. The ESPN Zone Spinach and Artichoke Dip. You do want to eat it warm, but it is like boiling hot at the moment, so I will be back to give it a try. All right, so it's just about ready to try. I'm so excited. I'm gonna move it, there we go. Center it. It's so good. I think, if I remember correctly, TGI Fridays used to serve it with a side of salsa too. So either pico de gallo or salsa is really good with it. Red Robin, feels like eons ago, had a Mount Olympus burger. So it was a burger with spinach and artichoke dip on it. And I feel like grilled red onions maybe, I don't know, or onion rings, but spinach and artichoke dip on a burger is so good. The recipe says, with chips, carrots, celery, or even garlic bread. And yeah, garlic bread would be fantastic. Like a spoon, you could do a spoon. It's that good. Spinach and artichoke dip, I used to get the pre-made one at Costco super long ago, and I would put it on top of chicken breasts with cheese, cheddar, or mozzarella and bake it. So it's really just good on everything. Okay. It is steaming. Cheers. Actually, I don't know if I can. So good. Probably could use a touch more salt, but you have to be careful because Parmesan cheese is super salty. So good. Yep. There's a little bit of that hot sauce. Got that garlic. You can always do more garlic and onions if you want. I like fresh chopped onions on top too. Just another different layer of flavor. But this is a solid base to get you going. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by today. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and spread some magic wherever you are. Until next time.